What's up, guys? Welcome to Whiskey. I'm Jeff. This is a channel where I offer my thoughts and opinions on a specific whiskey, and if you stick around at the end, I'll be giving it a score as well. If that sounds interesting, hit subscribe down below. And with that out of the way, let's jump into our review. Today we're looking at the Ardnamurchan Midgie. Stick around. So it's a limited edition Ardnamurchan today. Ardnamurchan, of course, is a fan favorite. It's everyone's favorite newish distillery, and for good reason. I'm a fan myself. As the kids say, they passed the vibe check. Oh. Now, sadly, this is a UK exclusive bottling. Obviously, you can buy it from the UK and have it shipped internationally, but unless you're there, it won't be on your local shelves. However, luckily for me, I'm famous. I'm basically a celebrity. People love me. I'm absolutely adored the world over. So every once in a while, for no particular reason, people just give me things, which is wild. This particular bottle comes from an extremely generous patron of mine named Steven. So Steven, thank you very much. Or as they say in the Netherlands, arigato. Anyway, what do we need to know about this stuff? It is, of course, called the Midgie. Now, Midgie, I believe, is Scottish slang. And if I'm being honest, it's really offensive Scottish slang. Like, I don't know what the marketing department was thinking here, but I'm pretty sure they prefer the term little people. Okay, scratch that. I was wrong. Apparently, midgies are not little people. They are biting insects similar to mosquitoes. So, smaller still. In terms of our production, we have 13 bourbon barrels, 1 sherry butt, 5 Sauternes barriques, and 5 Madeira barriques with 60% peated and 40% unpeated spirit. As always, we do get a QR code on the back. It takes us to the website, gives us even more details. This one is bottle 535 out of 6,200. We get tasting notes, we get production details. We even have a chart telling us who bottled it. And this one was actually bottled by 3 separate people, so I assume they took turns pulling the lever. We have Kelly Combe, Holly McCafferty, and Reese Donaldson. And according to the numbers here, it seems like Kelly did most of the work at 34%, which does not seem fair at all. Holly, Reese, get your shit together. Anyway, I think that's all I've got for the intro, so let's not waste any more time. Let's jump into our review of the Ardnamurchan Midgie. In the meantime, if you'll kindly leave a like down below, that would be greatly appreciated. As always, we have really good specs here. This one comes in at a generous 48% ABV. It's non-chill filtered. It's natural color. So we have a pretty typical Ardnamurchan bottle here. I always like Ardnamurchan bottles. I think they have a very nice, sleek, modern, minimalist design. I don't have any big thoughts on this one other than I like the overall look. And for a one-off, I think our cartoon Midgie is kind of cute. So 4 out of 5. Of course, it does tell us that it's non-chill filtered and that it's natural color. Beyond that, not a lot of info on the bottle itself, but we do have the QR code. So all that information is readily available and the bottle looks cool. On the nose, this is immediately recognizable as Ardnamurchan. They have a very distinctive house style. I get a strong mineral limestone type note here. I get plenty of fruit, fruits like grilled pineapple. I get guava here. It's also quite malty. We get gentle peat here. There's vanilla, and we get some dessert notes like custard and white chocolate. It's nice. On the palate and finish, this is mouth coating. We get a gradual arrival of flavor. I get peat and spice first. We get those coastal maritime-y type notes. Again, this is very mineralic, kind of like a mineral stone flavor. I assume most of you have never sucked on a stone, but this is kind of what it tastes like. Probably. I wouldn't know. We also get some wine notes behind all that. So we get some of those sweet white wine notes from the Sauternes. We also get more of like the red fruity notes from stuff like the Madeira and the sherry. And of course, we get a fair amount of peat in this. This is less of a smoky peat though. It's more of an earthy peat. We get a medium finish here, lingering on a banana sundae with a cherry on top. All right, so this stuff is good. It's very on brand for them. Like, you might think with the cask breakdown that you're getting something totally new and totally different. And I guess you could say that, but I wouldn't. I think if you've had any of the AD bottles before or the cask strength, you'll recognize the profile, you'll recognize a lot of the flavors. And even with all the fancy cask play, it's still very much in line with the house style. And obviously that's not a bad thing. They have an incredible house style. I guess my point is that the casks aren't as like dramatic or in your face as you might think, so this still hits like a classic Ardnamurchan. And that's because our distillate does still take center stage. Of course, we get the cask notes, the influences there, but they're more complementary, they're less dominant. That said, I do like what they bring here. We'll start off with, there's a certain like white wine sweetness to this that definitely comes from the Sauternes. It's wonderful. We also get some nice like red fruit notes that would come from the Madeira cask and maybe that one sherry barrel too. And what's nice is they all add something and they don't feel muddled. It doesn't feel like this indistinct amalgam of fruity winey notes. I think if you spend some time with this whiskey and you try and look for the cask influences, you will find them. So you can find like the Madeiras here, the Sauternes here, the bourbons here. They're all in there and they all work well with the distillate. And obviously this being an Ardnamurchan, the distillate shines. But obviously you don't have to pick it apart like that. You can just appreciate it as the sum of its parts, and it's a very good whiskey. Note though that it's not a very like fancy or luxurious style of whiskey. If you're looking for something more along those lines, I would suggest maybe the Polonois, which by the way is my favorite thing they've ever done. But now for me, this is much more of a casual Ardnamurchan. I don't think it's going to challenge you really. Good intensity here. It's not super intense, but it's definitely loud enough at 48%. As I said, I like the cask play here. I think they bring some sweet and playful notes. Like I love that banana sundae finish. So like, you know, vanilla ice cream, obviously bananas, some caramel sauce, cherry on top. It's just fun. And as I said, those sweet, fruity dessert type notes, those don't dominate. They're complementary, but it's really the distillate and that wonderful earthy peat that ties everything together and gives it some weight. So I think this is a great, like fun, easygoing, casual, everyday type pour. It's definitely familiar enough, but it is different enough too. I think this is Ardnamurchan playing to their strengths, so I'm having a great time with it. So for score, I'm going to give this an 86. It's nothing too fancy, but it is a crowd pleaser. And I do think it's a shame that it didn't get a wider release because I think a lot of people would end up preferring this to the standard AD release. It does have a little bit more going on. So recommended to Ardnamurchan fans. This is as good as anything else they put out, and they always put out good stuff. Maybe not a lot of surprises with this one, but it's still different enough. It's definitely not a redundant release. It's delicious. Now, before I jump into value, I do want to say a quick thank you to all my channel members, all my patrons, guys. Thank you so much for all the support. And if you want to help out, if you want to help keep the channel financially sustainable and independent, there are a number of ways that you can help. I have both Patreon and PayPal linked down below. Anything and everything helps. And again, massive thank you to those of you who are already supporting the channel. Now let's see about value. Okay, so pretty good value on this one, but of course I would say that because I didn't pay for my bottle. But even if I wanted to pick this up here, I couldn't. It's not sold here. I'd have to buy it from the UK, ship it internationally, which to be fair is exactly what Steven did. Again, Steven, thank you. You're a legend. But no, this goes for like, what, 51 pounds in the UK. I think for that, it's a good price. I think it's good bang for buck. You can't go wrong. Okay, that is it for our video today, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and obviously I want to hear from you. Have you tried our Ardnamurchan Midgie here? What are your thoughts? How do you feel about it? Do you think it's worth money? Let me know all of that down below. Finally, you can also let me know what you want to see me review down the line, and I will keep that in mind for my upcoming videos. Bye, guys.